Hi guys, it's Heather from Git Girls. Thanks for stopping by for this unboxing video. I have got this tarot deck to do, and then I'm going to do another video because I also got an oracle deck come through today as well. I had some money come in that I wasn't expecting, so I used it to buy a couple of tarot decks, one which hasn't arrived yet, and an oracle deck. And I thought I would do my first impressions walkthrough with you as they both came this afternoon. The tarot deck, as you can see from the title of this video, is the Spiritsong Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. Now, I love Paulina Cassidy's artwork. I have her Joie de Vivre Tarot that somebody bought for me as a present, a friend, and I also have her Paulina Tarot and her Witchling Tarot on my Witchling Oracle, on my wish list. I've had this box on my wish list, this tarot box on deck on my wish list since before it was released, and then I ummed and ahed about pre-ordering it, and then I never did. I follow her on Facebook, I follow her on Instagram. I love her artwork, I absolutely adore her artwork and her style, but I've put off getting this deck for quite a while because I'm not so keen on decks that are purely animal decks, where all of the cards have animals in and no people, and the animals are actual animals and not like her Joie de Vivre deck where she's got like cat-like people, but they're you know, stood on two legs and wearing clothes and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read an animal deck in the same way that I would read any other deck, but as I say, I love her artwork, and the fact that I adore her artwork so much has just got the better of me, and I've taken the plunge and bought the deck. So I have already taken the cellophane off, and I've already opened the deck and taken the cellophane off the cards as well, because nobody needs to watch me taking cellophane off anything for 10 minutes with, you know, ridiculousness of struggling. So I've done all that already, but I haven't looked at any of the cards yet, and I haven't looked through the book or anything. So Spiritsong Tarot energizes the cards of traditional tarot with the majestic beauty and wisdom of 78 animals that have been called upon to help guide you on your life journey. The 4 Spiritsong suits are acorns instead of wands fire, feathers for swords air, shells for cups water, and crystals for coins earth. And the box includes a 78 card deck and a 108 page guidebook. It's by US Games. So I was actually, I have to say, expecting it to come in a tuck box with a little white book, because that's what I'm used to with US Games. So I'm really, really pleasantly surprised by the box that it comes in, one of these proper boxes, which I love. I love the artwork on the front. I have a feeling that's the strength card, but as I say, I don't really know these cards, so I think somewhere in the recess of my mind, I have a feeling that I've seen this before and it's the strength card, but I will see when I go through the deck. So yeah, I'm really impressed with the box. I love the colouring of the box. It's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful, beautiful box. The book is a proper little book, which again, I just adore the little book. Look at the dragonfly, isn't it pretty? So yes, it is, as she says, 108 pages long. Although 2 of the pages are blank note pages at the back, and actually it's 105 pages long, but who am I to argue? There's an introduction, a bit about the Spiritsong animals, the elemental signs, and the suits, Spiritsong suits, and then into the cards. So already they've got the names of the cards and an animal, the animal next to them. And then at the back, I'm guessing, yeah, so at the back it's got a little bit about connecting to your cards and also some spread. So it's got the Spiritsong single card reading, the Spiritsong star spread, which is a 5-pointed star with one in the middle, the Spiritsong healing spread, which is a 6-card spread again, and the Spiritsong Tree of Life spread, which is a 10-card spread. And then it's got Oh, okay, it's got using the Spirit Song as an oracle. So the Spirit Song deck may also be used as an oracle. Reading with an oracle is free form, so there are no rules that need to be followed. Use your intuition to create your own spread and create your own layout using as many or as few cards as you wish. Interpretation is left to your own imagination. And then it's got a 1-card oracle reading, Spirit Song 3-card oracle reading, which is, it has a couple of options for actually, which I quite like. It's got your mind, your body, your spirit, your past, your present, your future, and also the background history, the obstacle in resolving the issue, and the recommendations in resolving the issue. So there's a couple of choices there. So I quite like that. I quite like that she's recognised that actually her deck is quite unique as a tarot deck. And so she's given suggestions for oracle instead, using it as an oracle instead. The cards themselves are of pretty good cardstock. Really not too bendy, not too weak. Should be good for shuffling. The backs, so they're reversible. So the backs are designed so they can be read in reversed. Now, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's got a trademark. It's got a copyright symbol on it, 2017 US Games. And it's got one on both sides so that it doesn't stop them from being reversible. But it just, I don't like it. I don't like the fact that they've put the trademark on the back of the cards. I think that's really disappointing. I don't want to see the trademark on the back of the cards. So, yeah, I'm not keen on that. I'm not keen on that at all. The cards are quite big, actually. I mean, let me have a look. Where is my... So I've got my normal Llewellyn Tarot deck, Classic Tarot here. And this is the size of the Spirit Song one. So they're quite a bit bigger than the tarot cards that I'm used to reading with. Which is fine. I mean, I don't have particularly small hands. It's not a problem. I can hold them well enough. So I quite like actually the fact that they have borders. Normally I'm not a fan of borders, but the borders don't seem to take away from the pictures at all here. So there's a name change there with the Traveller rather than the Fool. I think sometimes when people change names on tarot decks, I'm a bit, really? Because, you know, the Traveller to me has a whole different set of meanings and connotations than the Fool does. The word, the Traveller, I mean. So I'm not, I would be interested to read whether she's put anything about why she's chosen that name instead of the Fool. The cards also have a couple of keywords on there. So for example, this one has adventure and potential. Actually, that doesn't bother me too much. I thought that it might, and that maybe I would want to cut those off because I knew that they came with those keywords on the bottom. But actually, in some respects, I think having those keywords on there when you're talking about animals and her artwork might make it easier for me, initially at least, to connect with the deck. Because at the moment I see a rabbit, I see the word the Empress, I don't get a lot more from that because I don't read animals like that. I don't know if it's a deck, as I say, that I'm actually going to be able to read with. I'm not, however, going to deny the fact that the artwork is just beautiful. I see. So number 5 is normally the Hierophant, normally my card that I have to check out. In this case, they've got the Shaman and it's an eagle. And they've got divine wisdom and spiritual power, which is different from how you quite often read the Hierophant. I do apologise. So that's an interesting choice there. We've got love instead of the Lovers. Again, I'm not sure how I feel about the choice of changing that word. Look at that rhino. It is the Strength card, is the Elephant. Which makes sense in some respects. Elephants are, you know, I guess symbolic with being strong, with strength. I'm not going to lie, I expected the Strength card to be a lion. but I'll be interested to read why she's gone with an elephant instead. So the reason I'm not really, you know, I don't really go for decks like this generally, where it's all animals, and the animals aren't doing anything that would kind of pick my, you know, click my into my intuition, is because I'm not really somebody who's that aware of animal symbolism. It's not something that I pay much attention to. It's not something that I've ever really read up on or thought about in much detail. I have a couple of spirit animals of my own that I work with and I connect with, and I have images of them on my altar, and I've looked into what they mean and also spent some time figuring out what they mean for me. But as on the whole, animal symbolism is not something that I know much about or have much interest in. So when I see this, for example, a zebra doesn't really mean all that much to me. I like them. I mean, I don't dislike any animal, but I don't really have any connection with them. I don't have any words that pop into my head when I look at a zebra. And oh, okay, that's interesting. Sorry, on a side note, but the devil has now become the shadow instead. And the keywords are self-empowerment and ambition. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. So some of these choices I'm a bit, you know, they're not necessarily the choices that I would have made as well. Like the star has become a swan. Now, the only thing I really know about swans is that they mate for life, and that when one of them dies and the other one, it follows along not much longer after that. So for me, the swans would have been the sensible choice, or the only choice almost, for the first choice for the Lovers card. I'm not sure what I would have in the star, but I would have put the swans as the lovers. I mean, the moon, the owl, that makes perfect sense. That's the choice that I think most people would have gone with. I don't know how she's chosen these animals. I don't know if these are supposed to have been channeled in some way, or she's done it through her own symbolism of the animals. So instead of judgment, you've got awakening, with the keywords renewal and enlightenment. But I can't deny that the artwork is beautiful. I really, really love the artwork. Okay, the ram for the Ace of Acorns. For some reason, that just, my brain just went, yep, get that, makes perfect sense. Acorns, wands, fire, the ram, makes perfect sense to me. It's probably the only one I've turned over so far, other than the moon, where I've immediately gone, yeah, I get that. And that, I think, is going to be an issue for me. That at the moment, it's only a flick through, and I did buy this deck specifically for Paulina Cassidy's art, and less for actually reading with. But so far, I've not really had that many decks where I've kind of got that many cards where I've had that immediate yes, no, I can, yes, no. It's one of those days today. Yeah, I can totally see why you've made that decision. That animal makes perfect sense to me. That's the animal I would have picked. There's not really been any of that so far. I like the colouring of the cards though, they're so soft. It's just so soft. I can't think of a better word for it. And really easy to look at, really calm, and, you know, I really like the colouring. some of the artwork possibly is a little busier than I would want from a tarot deck generally. Okay, this one I totally get. 2 of shells, 2 of cups, 2 turtle doves. I get that choice. I get little lovebirds. I get it. I think that's another one there. I've just immediately looked at the card and gone, yes, yes, I totally see why you've made that decision. And the same with the 3 of shells, actually, with the 3 dolphins. You know, and with her keywords being playfulness, playfulness and bliss, the other one is, but I can see why the dolphins were the decision that she went for the 3 of shells. Makes perfect sense to me. So there are a couple where I can kind of immediately look at her choice and go, yep, get that, yep, see why you did that. But more than not, it's not that I don't disagree with her choices, it's just that I can't see why the choices are what they are. I don't think that's anything to do with the choices that she's made. I think it's to do with my complete lack of knowledge about animal symbolism at all. Oh, I love penguins. I do love penguins. The frog. I actually really like them. I do actually really, really like them from an artistic perspective. At the moment, I would say, as a deck to look at and to enjoy for the artwork, I am impressed and I'm pleased with the deck. I think it's a good deck. I think the cardstock is really good. I think the book that you get with it is really good. I like the backs and the fact the backs are reversible, although, as I say, I'm not keen on it having the trademark on the backs there, but, you know, I can live with that. It's small enough that you could live with it. As a deck to read, at the moment, I'm just not feeling it at all. I don't feel like it's going to be a deck that I'm going to really read with overly, or that I'm going to have any kind of real connection with. I think if I try to read with this deck, I'm either going to struggle or I'm just going to find myself falling back very much on Rider-Waite-Smith meanings, card meanings, and relying also quite a bit on her keywords that she's put at the bottom to kind of push my brain into a space where I can figure out what the card is trying to tell me. I think I'm going to struggle to read these cards intuitively, just because I don't have that level of animal symbology knowledge that I think would help. There's the lion. King of air, king of feathers. Logic and justice. Again, I'm not sure on the choices. The panda, very cute. I have to also admit as well that without looking at the book, there's probably some animals here that I just think, I don't know what that is. I don't even know what that is, and because I don't know what it is, I've got no idea what it's supposed to represent. But yeah, meerkats. So I'm aware that I don't sound overly enthusiastic about this deck. It's not because I don't like the deck. I really, really do. I really like the artwork. I really want to get through the spider as quickly as possible because I'm not a big spider fan. I just don't know. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to read with it. I just don't know. I mean, I'd love to hear from other people. Do you read with this deck? Do you find that actually you have more of an intuitive connection with it than you expected to, or you always knew, or, you know, do you agree with her choices for the animals that she's picked? I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear from people who work with this deck and who like this deck, how they get on with it. But for me, it was a deck that I bought kind of knowing that it would probably be one that I would struggle with, and that I did buy purely for her artwork. So yeah, I'm not disappointed. I got exactly what I was expecting to get. Maybe on some level I was hoping that it would turn up and I would be surprised and I would be immediately drawn to the images and that there would be some connection that I wasn't expecting there to be. And I think the fact that I got exactly what I was expecting has left me feeling a bit, oh, okay. It's, you know, it's a nice deck. It's very pretty. But we'll see. We'll see if my opinion changes over time. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.